lean into Jesus. And just when you feel like you can't lean anymore, lean harder. These are the words of my great aunt Vivian Piper. At the age of 101, she finally received her eternal prize. This is a mantra within my family. It's a connection to our rich heritage in the faith. I think of the Apostle Paul as he writes to the church in Corinth, 2 Corinthians chapter 4. He says that our bodies are like jars of clay, holding these treasure, this treasure, this prized possession. What is this treasure? He says it's not our bodies or ourselves that we preach, but we preach a resurrected King. His name is Jesus Christ. And he was there in the creation account. He will be there to usher in the new creation, the new heavens, the new earth. I believe that this gospel message not only is true then, true now, but it is the very truth that is worth contending for in every generation. In an age right now of our present time of postmodernism and tolerance and the unique challenges of globalization and urbanization, technology, Jesus is still King. This message is our truth that we contend for, that we lean into. I think of the heritage I have in my missional family that inspires me. It's stories of resilience. There's a Scottish freedom fighter by the name of William Wallace, a direct ancestor of mine. I have my great-grandmother who is a Wallace, and we traced it back as direct lineage that this William Wallace, who fought for freedom, contended for it, suffered, laid his life down because he believed freedom was worth fighting for. I'm the beneficiary of this freedom. I think of another family member of mine, an archbishop in the Catholic Church by the name of Missional McGrath. He fought for freedom. He contended for truth. And as he did this, he reformed to the Protestant faith. And it would cost him his castle being burned. It would cost him being completely abandoned by the Catholic Church. But yet he fought and contended for this one Jesus who is the King. And there's always more of him. I think of through history and the accounts where God has continually and progressively revealed himself. As we bear his image, I believe that this truth of the gospel remains, that God is worth contending in this generation. Although there's a generation rising up that not only do they deny God, they just pretend as if he doesn't exist. We're living more and more like idolatry and our own immorality and the false gospels, the half-truths that twist and turn the narrative for some temporal gain. This is not about climbing some corporate ladder or trying to build our own kingdom, but it's a way of surrender and the way of Jesus, who showed us a life of sacrifice, that this is the way he would usher in his kingdom. His kingdom is not of this world, but he's not a God who is going to annihilate and destroy. That's not how he does. He redeems that which was lost. And I believe the things that seem so far gone and so forsaken in our present day, I believe God is ready to bear his image and redeem every single thing to himself. It's called reconciliation. It's the ministry that we're called to. It's the ministry my great aunt Vivian believed in, that she had a call in her life to preach the gospel. The Assemblies of God, our fellowship in our Pentecostal tradition, did not initially allow women to be credentialed in ministry, but my great aunt Vivian felt the call of God on her life. She continued leaning in and pressing in, and she was among one of the first to be credentialed in the Assemblies of God as a woman in ministry. She held on to her credentials all the way to the end, and this truth was worth contending for. I believe this generation, with unique challenges that they face today, that are like giants taunting our God, taunting our King today. I believe that just as God raised up David, a shepherd boy in a field, with tools of his day that would be sharpened and ready for battle to be used as a weapon against the giants of his day, I believe the same God is raising up people, young men and women, sons and daughters who will prophesy. They are training up and learning as digital natives unique challenges and ways that they are going to see opportunities to declare this kingdom, declare the goodness of our God. So I do not lose heart. I have so much hope for this generation because I believe that the King of Kings, he continues to reign. And this gospel, this kingdom, is worth fighting for.